Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Angel here, coming at you with another story of Life as a Fan. Now, before I get started with the video, I did upload the Life as a Fan video a while back, the part one, the chapter one of part one of my Las Vegas Raiders, which the Raiders edition of how I became a fan. So, I'm gonna do the new version of it. The reason why I'm doing it is because there was some debunks that I point out fingers that I had to debunk myself for some stuff that was some of them was like not true, like some stories and stuff. But it's gonna be a lot. I mean, mostly the mini story. Everything's gonna be the same way as it was. I did the old version back in about 2 or 3 years ago, I believe. But in this one, I decided to add a little more detail to it, to more stories of how I got myself into loving the Raiders, how I got myself into watching NFL football games, and how I got myself watching to the Raider games because at the time I was not really into watching sports. I just root for teams, or I like it better watching in person. But until that day when the NFL came for TV, that changed my life for the rest of my life. So there's more to story to it that you guys won't believe. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and watch the story because this is the story of how I became a Raider fan and how it all started and how it all started throughout the entire thing. And also, don't forget, I'm just going to let you guys know there will be part two coming up. But however, we're just going to focus on part one. So sit back, relax, enjoy, eat your snacks while you can because this is the part one of the new version of chapter one of Life as a Fan, the Raiders edition. Okay, so here is how it all started. It all started back when I believe I was 7 or 8 years old. I was a Dodger and a Laker fan. Yes, the Raiders were not the very first professional team. It was the Los Angeles Dodgers. But however, we will talk about the Dodgers and the Lakers some other different chapter. But right now, I want to focus on this story. So it all started, I believe, was back in 2005. I was at the place called Santa Fe Springs Swap Meet at the time. Like I said, because I was a Dodger and a Laker fan. So we were walking around. It was late at night. My family does this night shopping somewhere around in Santa Fe Springs. So I was walking around holding my dad's hand. I was looking at some booths, sections everywhere as a youngster until I came across to this one section. I believe they were selling sports at the time. That's when I saw the very first time I saw the Raider logo. When I first saw the logo at the time, it was like a weird looking logo, like it's like so weird. I don't know, like it feels like the logo's staring back at you. Because little did I know, probably as of now, I bet the logo I didn't even find the team. The team found me. So when I saw the logo afterwards, I didn't say much about it, and we were still shopping, doing our things, that's how people does every time at the swap meet here at Santa Fe Springs, which I haven't been to that place in a long, long time. Sheesh. So, anyways, about a couple of days later, my uncle was watching Monday Night Football or Saturday Night Football or Sunday Night Football. I don't remember, but it was a really, really long time ago. Like I say, it's a long time ago. But I did remember he was watching a night game, watching it at my room. We were roommates, me and my uncle, who I'm very close with. Yes, and he still is my close uncle even to this day. That's when I saw that logo again on the helmet. And ever since then, because since I had a basketball and a baseball team, I never in my life had a football team. And I never got myself into football. I mean, I have seen football. Yes, my family loves football. My uncle, who I'm very close with, used to play football in his high school, but I have no team until I finally saw that team again. And ever since then, that's how I became madly in love with this team. And I became a Raider fan when I was a young boy. I don't keep in touch with football. I root for the Raiders just because at that time, if it wasn't meant for, we went to Santa Fe Springs Swap Meet at the time because we used to go there a lot of times, numerous times at the time, and it wasn't meant for that day. And if it wasn't meant for when I saw that logo and that team when I saw when my uncle was watching on that night game, I don't remember what team they were playing. I don't think it was the New England Patriots the last time I said it, but I believe it could be the Tennessee Titans. I'm not so sure, but it was a red, white, and blue team. Don't That's all I can tell you. So at that time, I had a football team because well, at the time Los Angeles didn't have no football team because the fun fact is the Raiders left a year before I was born before I came to this world because they left in '95. I was born in 1996. So I remember one day when I was road tripping with my dad. I think we were doing a family road trip. It was me, my dad, my mom, and my brothers. We were so young at the time. I told my dad, Dad, did Los Angeles ever had a football team? Because I was concerned. My dad told me no, but the Raiders did play in Los Angeles, and I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, and all that stuff. I was like, oh shoot, like I didn't even notice the team that I was rooting for used to play at my hometown city, the city where I was born and raised. Like I didn't notice. Well, at the time, at the time my dad did tell me that the Raiders used to play in Los Angeles, but it took me until a few years until I found out what's their city they used to play in, which is their normal city, which is now called Oakland. At the time before the Vegas move. But at the time, like I say, I didn't keep no touch with the team. But however, I heard some of my family, some friends, some classmates saying that the Raiders were a bad team. They were not good. They don't win. They can't even win, all that stuff. I didn't know much about it at the time. However, until the year 2014, that's how it all started, how it all changes. Now, it was the year 2014. Well, I was barely getting ready to leave junior year in high school. Well, not barely, but I had I was in my second semester during my junior year in high school. However, the very first time I was watching an NFL game, not from the beginning of the kickoff all the way to the end, I didn't, but it was during from the somewhere around, I believe, third or half of the second quarter all the way to the end. That's when I first time watched Super Bowl 48. And when I watched Super Bowl 48, the last half of the game, man, like I remember the time I was watching the entire game. The Denver Broncos, like Peyton Manning, the Denver Broncos got smoked by the Legion of Doom, I think they call it. And then Russell Wilson was throwing great passes, going for so many touchdown wins. The Broncos hardly tried to make a score, but they were doing really terribly bad. Like, man, I feel bad for the Bronco fans at the time, including I had cousins who are Denver Bronco fans, especially one of my oldest. Oh my goodness, I can felt his pain. Like, literally, he is so upset about, seeing his Denver Broncos getting smoked and destroyed by the Seattle Seahawks. So at that time, that was during when I was still a junior, a junior in high school, when during my second semester beginning, like that was during my early times. But until couple of months later, when football season, the new season was about to begin, that is what 2014 season, I was started out in my senior year in high school, which at the time, me and my brother, we were watching Sunday Night Football. We were watching the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the New York Giants, and at that time, it was so embarrassing, like kind of similar like the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks Super Bowl. The Philadelphia Eagles is nothing but Eagles world. They were crushing, destroying the New York Giants. Well, at the time, I didn't notice, but now they were a rival team. Man, I feel sorry for a lot of New York Giants fans at the time seeing this. And plus, it was in Philadelphia, so I feel, feel happy for the Phillies fans, even though I did feel happy for the Seattle fans, all that stuff. And I feel congrats for them. But still, it was so sad and embarrassing for the New York Giants. All that stuff, man, like they were really getting crushed. Me, my brother, we were watching Sunday Night Football. We were so young, watching from the kickoff all the way to the end. My goodness, man, that was so crazy. We watched some random games we have, but I finally get to watch my very first Raider game, which I tried to watch it, but I didn't bother watching it the entire time at the time because I was so pissed. We were facing the Denver Broncos, and that was my very first time watching Derek Carr as a quarterback. Now, fun fact is, as a Monster Jam fan, when I first saw Derek Carr, he kind of looked like Adam Anderson. Like, I don't know why, but for some reason, he kind of looked like Adam Anderson. Like, he reminds me of Adam Anderson. I don't know why, from Monster Jam, the Driver Gravedigger. But anyways, back to this. When we saw it, I was like, come on, Derek, or come on, guys. Quit being a show-offs and play like, just win, man. But I don't know, like, in the end, it was a terrible game. Including, we had so many terrible games. Like, I didn't saw it, but really terrible, bad games. But however, even though sadly I didn't get a chance to watch this game, even though I did watch almost slightly from the beginning to the end of the game from the Broncos game. But even though I fell asleep, I got a little tired and stuff because even though I had school tomorrow, all that stuff at the time. So when I was, didn't get a chance to watch Thursday Night Football against the Kansas City Chiefs, the Raiders finally got their first victory win, and it was like a miracle for me, man. I was so happy. Like, I was so pissed because I had to deal with so many classmates talking smack about me, saying that how bad my team was. But I was so extremely happy that the Raiders won, beat the Kansas City Chiefs, when Alex Smith was a starter at the time. Oh my goodness, man. And it was a raining show too. My goodness, man. I wish I could have get a chance to see it. Unfortunately, sadly, I didn't because, at the time we didn't got NFL Network, and they were not broadcasting no Raider games at that time. However, we've been, had a little bit of a slumpy start afterwards, including that big blowout game against St. Louis. But still, oh my goodness, man. Until finally the Raiders got another victory against the San Francisco 49ers when we owned the Bay. My goodness, man. It was a great victory, great, beautiful victory from the Raiders. And after that, little bit of no wins until our very last win was our very last home game was against the Buffalo Bills. And fun fact is, I remember when my family were watching the other teams were playing and stuff, they broadcast the last minute of the Raiders versus the Bills, and I finally get to watch it. My goodness, man. After we beat the Bills, I remember I was annoying the smack of my little sister, even though my little sister's a Cowboys fan. Well, she's not into football, but she just root for the Cowboys because of us. We forced her, got into football, which she doesn't like football. But still, I was telling my sister before we left for a Christmas party that my job was hosting at the time. But I was like saying, Raiders win, sis, Raiders win, all that stuff. Oh my goodness. And after that, after the Raiders, only had that 3 wins and stuff like that. But I'm glad I get to witness. Well, even though I didn't watch the entire game because they only broadcast the last minute of it because of my area where I was living in. But I finally get to watch the Raiders won in the last minute. However, several months passed. We were watching some random playoffs, everything like that, until we watched Super Bowl 49, which is the Patriots against the Seattle Seahawks. At the time, I was rooting for the Seattle Seahawks, which I'll admit at the time, because I wanted to see a back-to-back win. But, however, I don't know why, even to this day, why they never gave Marshawn Lynch, the beast mode himself, the ball in the 1-yard line, but instead they passed it to Tyler Lockett, which Malcolm Butler did the interception. Oh my goodness, it is so embarrassing. Especially, I feel sorry for the Seattle fans, but congrats to the Boston or New England fans at the time for for their other Super Bowl victory win. And Tom Brady got at the time, I believe he got his 4th. Yeah, he got his 4th ring. Like seriously, oh my goodness, it was so crazy and stuff like that. But however, things about to change really from bad from the bottom, and they race to the top in 2015. And here's my story. Now, after the whole entire season of 2014, after Super Bowl 49, before we get to next season, even though before I really did graduate high school when I was still a second semester, I still got like 3 or 2 months at the time. One of my good pals got me into this book known as Al Davis Just Went Baby. He got me into this book and he forced me to rent it. At the time, he forced me to rent it because, he noticed how bad I loved the Raiders when at the time I was starting to love them even more. Even to this day, I still love the Raiders. When I was reading the entire book, it was telling the story of the Los Angeles Raiders days and the early Oakland Raiders days, including this is when I first got introduced to Marcus Allen. I remember, I don't think it was on the same year, but I remember, I don't know how I did, but one time I was watching the America's game. Even when I discovered the Raiders theme song, every time I hear the Raiders, national theme song, like the Autumn Wind Pirates, all that stuff, and it shows that one song, I kept thinking of his Super Bowl run, especially that one part of the America's game when the ball was leaning to Marcus Allen, when Jim Plunkett at the time, before I know who he is, when he gave Marcus Allen the ball, when he run to that touchdown zone. Oh my goodness, man. Even the last time when the Raiders won the Super Bowl, man, that was a team to look after too. And funny enough, that was the very last time they won the Super Bowl was when they represent my hometown city, Los Angeles. And I saw Marcus Allen running down to the touchdown, made it that score. Oh gosh, it was so beautiful, man. Including one of my favorite off-season moments during the Raiders' time was, I got some merchandise for the Raiders, annoying the smack out of some of my uncles about saying how badly I want football season to come and hopefully soon. However, after the decline from the coach, when at the time when they needed a new coach, that's when we got introduced to Jack Del Rio. When I first saw Jack Del Rio, I was like, okay, that's a smart move. I'm expecting the Raiders are going to do good with the coach. And however, little did I know, I was 100% right. So that's how it all started, including memorable moments when during the run when the Raiders did the Super Bowl run, not the Super Bowl, sorry, I meant during against Kansas City versus the Chiefs when we won the very first time. Latavius Murray, man, the very first score. Oh my goodness, man, that was some beast mode Latavius got. But however, this is how it all started in 2015 season. My luck is about to change. Now, my very first time watching the entire Raider game, well, not the regular season, but preseason. My very first time watching the preseason game was against the Rams at week 1. I remember at that time when the Raiders won, I was like, ha, payback from that 52-0 Rams. Take that, St. Louis. I remember, I don't know if I did say it, but I did say something like payback from that 52-0, even though it's not regular season, it's just preseason. But who cares? We already won anyways. Even though we won that game but lost to the Minnesota Vikings. However, I was watching NBC Sunday Night Football, but even though it's a preseason version against the Arizona Cardinals. I'm glad that Derek Carr finally gets to play, but only for the first, I think only for the few games, for the first of the beginning games, and then he was switched off. But even though it was a good game, but unfortunately we lost, but it's all good, is what it is. But still, it was a great preseason, I'm not going to lie. But still, I don't care. If it's regular season or preseason, I still don't care. I'll still support my team and root for them because it's still my Raiders. So, during football season, I was ready to prepare to ready to watch the new season. So we were watching, at first we were watching against the Cincinnati Bengals, but for some reason, I don't know how or why, I don't know why the Raiders were playing like that. Well, to be fair, they were like still in their barely start with the new coach and stuff like that. Even though I didn't watch the game, but even though I was really pissed off. And I didn't even understand why didn't the referee give a penalty, or the NFL give a penalty on Adam Jones for what he did to Amari Cooper, which at the time when we drafted Amari Cooper. But Amari Cooper, even though he admitted I don't know if he accidentally or did it on purpose, that he hit Pac-Man Jones for a payback, but even though he's known for his violent stuff, I'm not so sure, but I don't know. So I just don't get it why. So anyways, when we lost in a terrible game with the Cincinnati Bengals at the time, we thought we were going to be a terrible team. But it turns out until week 2, Baltimore Ravens, man, we were dominating. We won. Sadly, I didn't get a chance to see that game as well. But even though it is what it is, all that stuff. However, on week 3, my very first time watching the Raiders win from the kickoff all the way to the last part was week 3 against the Chargers at San Diego. Oh my goodness, man. It was so intense. Like, there were a lot of Raider fans out there supporting the Raiders. One of my securities from my high school was there supporting the Los Angeles Raiders movement, including one of the most remarkable moments when Phillip Rivers, I forgot what player, the defensive player, when Phillip Rivers during the first play when he threw the ball, one of the defensive player grabbed the ball, caused an interception, and touchdown, man. Oh my goodness, man. What a heck of a game, man. It was something was worth to watch that time. So after that, man, we had some winnings and losing seasons so far. The problem is the Chiefs were too strong on us and all that stuff. The Broncos, when we were facing Peyton Manning, the Denver Broncos, I thought we were going to win. We could have won the game, but if only we stepped up a little. But even fun fact is Charles Woodson, oh my goodness, man, intercepted not once, not twice, but 5 times on Peyton Manning. Oh my goodness, man, that was intense and craziness. And after that, well, fortunately we lost, but even though we were a little slumpy, but we did win a few games. We defeated the Denver Broncos at their home. But even though Peyton Manning wasn't a starter, it was Brock Osweiler. Oh my goodness, man. Khalil Mack, man. Sheesh. Still miss that guy, man. 5 sacks, man. Oh my goodness, man. That was intense for the Raiders. And also, when we won the Thursday Night Football against the Chargers, man, what an intense, man. However, even though we were doing solid, decent, but that's all that stuff. But I did watch Super Bowl 50. It was okay, Super Bowl. No, it's not because I hate it because of the Broncos, because yes, their rival team. It's because they could have done a little more like spectacular how they did Super Bowl 49. Well, congrats to Denver, even though all that stuff. But still, however, there was a lot of potential that the fans want the Raiders to move from Oakland to Los Angeles and all that stuff. And they were like, supporting the LA Raider movement. However, I'm really kind of a little nervous and all that stuff. But however, this is just one story. But still, it's just one story. We will talk about this in the next chapter. Thank you for watching my video. If you guys liked the video so much, don't forget to hit that like, comment, share, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. And also, there will be part 2 possibly soon. I will probably do part 2 sooner or later, but I got other videos coming up. So yeah, if you guys like this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, especially if you're a Raider fan. This is AALS3179. Thank you for watching my video.